Well, Borderlands 4 came out, and since I'm a masochist, the only thing I know how to do is torture myself. So let's see if I can beat Borderlands 4 with only the starting pistol. Oh, and also without a shield or a rep kit, because f me, right? And just for the record, when I say no rep kit and no shield, I mean no equipped rep kit or shield. This game, for some reason, gives you a default rep kit when you don't have one equipped, and I will be allowing that, but I assure you, the base rep kit is atrociously bad. The first thing I did was spin a wheel to randomly select my character, because it's just more fun that way. And honestly, it's only fitting that my least favorite character in this game is the one that gives me this item that's gonna cause all this pain and suffering. God, I fucking hate this guy. The starting weapon in this game is called the Bond 91. It's a disgusting 2-round burst dataless pistol. It does 13 damage a shot. I can wrap my head around the idea of only doing 13 damage a shot, but the 2-round burst genuinely makes me homicidal. Who thought that was a good idea? God. Well. The very first boss was Warden Scathe. He's level 2, and already I can tell that this starting weapon has started to drop off, it feels like. Or at least at this point in the game, I would have already swapped it out for a better weapon because it did not feel that great. And this is literally the best it's ever going to be. It is only going to get worse from here on out. After Claptrap wakes me up on the beach, I bump into a level 4 badass, and good God, that guy was probably as hard as Warden Scathe. Oh, Claptrap! Oh my God! Splashstone was level 5, and honestly, I just found a spot right outside of his arena where I cheesed the shit out of him. Dude, you gotta think, like, Helen Keller was probably freaking the fuck out every time it rained, you know? It took probably 15 minutes of chipping away at him, and a few close calls, but eventually he goes down. Why the f... Huh? Once I got the glide pack, I slowly fought my way to Horus, who was level 6. And I think the first time you fight Horus, this door in the back of his arena stays open, and you can go in there and kind of hide. It was fairly safe, although not as safe as I thought it was. No. I did not think he could come in there. After 20 minutes of cowering away in a closet like Tom Cruise, I was finally able to kill Horus. After making it to Zadra, she immediately gets captured, and after painfully fighting my way to free her, she basically helped me kill everything on the path to oppress her. Zadra, please! Okay. Well... No! God! Oppressor wasn't actually too terrible. It seems like Gearbox intentionally made the enemies inside of the boss arenas easier to kill so that you can get easier second wins on them. So if I did go down, there were a lot of enemies that were noticeably weaker than normal that I could easily get second wins on. But Oppressor being a flying enemy and further away made it pretty easy to dodge his attacks. At this point, the enemies were level 11, and I'm essentially throwing frozen peas at them. I'm literally doing absolutely nothing for damage, and my only viable strategy is cowering away and chip damaging them as safely as possible. A single badass, especially in a crowded room of enemies, took way more time than even Oppressor did. For Bile Bulkhead, I had to employ the running around in circles and shitting my pants strategy. There were a lot of close calls here. The second wind enemies in the arena are easier to kill than normal enemies, but they are not easy to kill by any means. At this point, boss fights were just super high focus and high intensity fights. I had to be on my A game. I had to make sure I was constantly shooting second wind enemies and keeping them at one shot in case I did go down. And in between making sure every enemy in the arena is one shot, I had to avoid the enemies on top of avoiding the boss while trying to also focus on damaging the boss. And I'm not... No! Oh my God. Oh my God. 25 minutes of my asshole being puckered and me being on the edge of my seat is what it took to kill Bile Bulkhead. Holy shit, dude. Fuck. On the path to Idolator Soul, there were a lot of friendly NPCs that helped kill things, but they didn't kill everything, so I had to kill a lot of enemies. Can the bullets hit, please? What is happening? God, I'm gonna beat my fucking wife and kids, dude. Fuck. And after killing all of these enemies, there was one single badass that would stand in my way. Badasses in this game can spawn with random attributes, two of which are health regen and the ability to use a rep kit, and it's completely random. So I had to go through and kill all of the enemies up to the badass just to check if the badass spawned with health regeneration. And if he did, I literally could not do enough damage to outdamage his regen. So I had to save quit and get him to spawn with another modifier. I also went and started doing bounties to level up because staying on level was becoming a big issue since I was actively avoiding any enemy I didn't have to kill. Tell me he doesn't look like the Teletubby son up there. He absolutely does, bro. Oh, no. God. Idolator's Soul was genuinely my personal 9/11. One of the worst things I've ever experienced. He took my kill, bro! He has so many attacks and he spams them, and it's a very small arena, and most of his attacks are pretty hard to dodge. And my ability to do damage to him is locked behind one of his attacks, which sometimes he just doesn't want to do. Why would I want to throw it at that guy? This boss fight was 99.9% dodging attacks. It was so bad. The strategy of keeping all of the enemies in the arena one-shot so that I can get second wins didn't work at all, because Idolator's Soul can kill the enemies in the arena. So if I get them weak, he can then kill them more easily and take my second wins. And every time he kills an enemy, he gets his shield back. He has 3 bars of health, and as his health gets lower, he spams more and more attacks, and the damage windows get shorter and shorter. So I would have to wait for one of his attacks that allowed me to do damage. I would do damage for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then he would kill an enemy in the arena and shield himself, also taking my second wind while doing so. This is literally like being locked in a fucking boxing ring with John Cena, and you're just like a crippled little baby, you know? Kill yourself. How the fuck is a sane person supposed to dodge that attack? It was 44 minutes and 24 seconds of genuinely hemorrhoid level ass clenching. I genuinely think I need to get a prostate exam after that boss fight. Oh my god. I imagine this is what a little kid feels like when his uncle diddles him. I feel like I just contracted hemorrhoids from that. After killing Idolator's Soul, I went to the mountains next. Are they ribbed? Are they ribbed inside? Are they ribbed for his pleasure? This shit looks like my tip. The first boss I had to kill here was the Sky Spanner Cratch, who wasn't hard by any means. They spawn a lot of one-shot enemies, so super easy second wins. The problem actually came from there being 0 ammo in the arena. None of the enemies dropped ammo, and there were no ammo boxes or any way to get ammo in the arena. And I only had enough ammo to get him down to half health at best. So the only thing I could do was go farm for a dataless backup plan enhancement. So I farmed Splash Zone incredibly slowly for 2 days straight until I finally got a dataless backup plan enhancement. Holy shit, the purple versions of this gun do exist. What is that? Backup plan. Yes! Fuck yeah, we got it! We literally got it. We fucking got it. Oh, fuck yes, dude. This allows for extremely slow ammo regen in my dataless weapons. It's not fast by any means, but it is enough to make the boss fight doable. And evidently, after going back and attempting the boss fight with this enhancement, the boss just kind of flew into the ceiling and got stuck. So it still took quite a long time, but I could literally just stand there and shoot them. After killing this boss, I went and met Amara, and the next 3 missions were incredibly easy because Amara came along for them, and Amara was able to kill literally every enemy. We come across the first Vile enemy, and Vile enemies in this game have crystals on their back, and you have to shoot the crystals and break them. Once you break them, they spawn an orb that orbits around the enemy, and you have about 25 seconds to kill that orb, or the crystal will regenerate. And I could barely break the crystals, and on top of that, I did not have enough damage to kill the orbs quick enough, so I absolutely could not kill Vile enemies. But as it turns out, Amara can completely solo this boss fight, so I literally sat in a corner and just let Amara kill the boss. Amara was there for most of the mountain missions. When she wasn't there, things had a grinding halt. But luckily, one of the missions where Amara's not there, we have Bruce help us, which sped things up a lot. Holy shit! The last hurdle right before Vialictor are these 2 Vile enemies. And again, the same thing. I am physically incapable of killing them. But thankfully, at this point in the mission, Amara came back, and I so graciously let her fight these guys on her own. It took quite a long time, but that was literally my only way to kill these guys. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. No, that means they're gonna heal! No! So after sitting around and waiting, she eventually kills them. And it's eventually time to fight Vialictor. If Idolator's Soul was my personal 9/11, Vialictor was my personal Hiroshima. No. Fuck. No! God! Fuck! This is so fucked, dude! I'm gonna actually fucking break something. This fucking sucks! I was under the impression that the only second wins in this arena were these little crab guys who run at you and explode. But no matter what, I don't do enough damage to actually kill these guys before they explode. And it took me a little bit too long to realize that the 4 hands that you use to start damage phase can actually be used as second wins. So basically my strategy became getting all 4 of the hands one shot and then cycling 1 of them for damage while keeping 3 of them for second wins. And even with this very helpful strategy, I still struggled in enraged a lot. So after 3 days of attempting this fight, I had the bright idea to go farm bounties for XP. Up until this point, I had been farming kill bounties, which require you to kill 10 enemies of a certain type. These typically took me 30 to 45 minutes to complete, but at this point, I had realized that trace bounties are actually one of the best things in the game for me. All these bounties require is that you run to a certain area and you interact with a certain item. That's it. And they give the same amount of XP as a kill bounty. So I went from 45 minutes per bounty to like 3 to 5 minutes per bounty. This was a game changer, and I managed to level up 7 times in just a few hours. My thought process was, if I'm higher level, I have more skill points, and the more skill points I have should equal more damage and more survivability. What I didn't account for was the fact that enemies scale with my level, meaning I can't overlevel. Therefore, Vialictor now has easily double the amount of health he had before. So the first phase went from taking 25 minutes to taking 45 minutes, and the skills I got were negligible at best. Kind of a huge mistake on my part. I did also farm a vending machine for a class mod. I originally planned to do this gearless, but after needing the enhancement we farmed earlier, I ended up just putting it back on after that fight. It's not really doing anything other than giving us extremely slow ammo regen and a tiny amount of reload speed, so I assure you, I'm still struggling horribly, and really, as long as the skills only buff my weapon, I think it's perfectly fine. I literally can't. God damn it! After several days of attempts and an extensive break from this challenge, he just kind of froze halfway through his second phase, giving me a free kill, basically. There's actually no f***ing way. Thank God it's over, but I kind of got completely and utterly robbed of my satisfaction. I'm sure as shit not gonna retry, but like, what the fuck? After killing Vialictor, I made my way to Moxie's bar, where I met Zane. Me and Zane let out Sophia, and then me and Sophia destroy a few catapults. I meleeed him. Fuck. I probably could. Actually, oh, what the fuck? Oh! Okay, I just got diddled. Sophia gets killed, Zane goes on a revenge mission, and then I have to track down these 2 camp leaders to find Zane. I love that Quint just actually fucking sits there and doesn't help! I spent countless hours trying to kill these camp leaders. At this point, I formed the mentality that I had to cheese every enemy possible. One thing I don't do well at is groups of enemies. I can do one enemy at a time fairly easily, but if there's more than one enemy, I'm getting my butthole touched. Eventually, I realized that cheesing these camp leaders is way easier than trying to kill them legitimately and saves so much time. So I started looking for cheese spots for these enemies, and I can definitely say now that cheesing is absolutely the way to go for this run. After I find Zane, he clears out all the enemies, and we eventually make our way to Driller Hole. After a few days of attempts and a temporary lapse in judgment where I equipped a shield, I eventually started looking for cheese spots, and I fairly quickly found one, and I was able to take out Driller Hole pretty easily. Oh, yes! Fuck yeah, dude, we got it. Yeah. After killing Driller Hole, I have to go find this spatial accelerator to boost these launch pads. Someone finger my asshole. God damn it! After struggling here for 2 days, I eventually get it, and then I launch my way over to the outside of Callus's fortress, where I spend several days clearing out enemies. Uh-oh. Oh, oh no. At one point, a vile enemy spawned, but then after not being able to kill him all day, I came back the next day and he just didn't spawn, which was actually perfect because I thought that was going to be the end of the run right there, as I can't kill vile enemies still on my own. So that was pretty cool. Bitch, peek the fucking corner. Oh my god. You raising a fucking family behind the wall? This single mini-boss, Mudmouth, single-handedly took up 2 days of my time. I spent so long trying to kill this guy. He has 2 little midgets that spawn around him, and I thought they spawned infinitely, so I avoided killing them because I thought they would just respawn. It turns out there's actually like 4 of them that spawn, and then they just stop spawning. So I spent so much time looking for cheese spots to try and kill this boss, only to find out that I can kill his little melee buddies, and then I could focus on the boss on his own. Once I got into Callus's fortress, there was this one room that had a vile enemy that I spent so long trying to kill. There were these little helicopter enemies that could actually damage the vile enemy's crystals for me, so I spent a really long time using myself as bait trying to get the helicopter guys to shoot the vile enemy and kill him. It was a major pain in the ass, and it really didn't work. I did find this acid pool in the bottom of the room that I could bait enemies into, and they would just stand there and melt, so that sped things up a lot. This room on its own took probably 3 hours to clear out, and the first time I actually cleared it, the vile enemy had somehow managed to get himself stuck behind the other side of the door where I couldn't reach him, so I had to restart 3 hours of progress because of a glitch. But evidently, again, I save quit and the vile enemy just didn't spawn. I thought this was going to be a run ender again right here, but I guess when a vile enemy spawns, you can just save quit a lot of the time and they don't respawn. I don't know why that is, but I'm so thankful it is. After that room, I made it to Callus, and I wasted no time looking for glitch spots. Callus's arena is pretty small, and I'm pretty intimidated by it, so I don't feel bad about cheesing her at all. I found this glitch spot where if you jump into the back wall of her arena, you take damage and it knocks you back, and you can actually use that to gain height, and you can gain enough height to jump over the wall that blocks you in her arena, and you can jump on top of that wall and then find glitch spots out of the arena where you can then shoot at her from. There's actually an insane amount of out of bounds areas around her arena. We found this cheese spot on the very first day, and it still took us over a week of attempting this boss to kill her. When we're outside of the arena, most of her attacks don't hit us. The only enemy that can hit us is her little prince ball that floats around her. He shoots out proximity mines at me. They're fairly easy to dodge, especially given the glitch spot that I'm in, but the big problem is once you get into second phase, she starts spawning psychos who throw buzz axes and grenades at you. No! What? Which makes it nearly impossible to peek out from behind cover and actually shoot the boss. So we could do the first phase in probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but the second phase took probably 3 times as long. I could do the first phase entirely without getting hit at all, but the second phase was so difficult. Oh, that was her. Okay. Oh, God! After spending a lot of time refining my skills, basically, I now have lifesteal, and I do more damage at full health. When I get a critical hit, I have a chance to proc bleed. When I use a rep kit, I boost my next shot. The higher my health, the bigger that boost is. If I hit a crit with that boosted shot, and the bleed chance procs, it then boosts my bleed damage. But the only time I can even remotely hit crits is when she does her mortar attack, where she shows her elbows. Yes, elbows! Elbows! Show me your elbows! I fucking missed again! I missed! Fuck! Don't miss. Fuck! Are you... She was so strong that we would literally have to sit there for 15 to 20 minutes just to let our ammo fully regen. We started playing Peggle because we got so bored of just sitting there waiting for our ammo to regen. And I gotta say, Peggle is absolutely incredible. After killing Callus, we take the command bolts back to Zadra. She does some shit with them. I can't move my map. Why can't I move the map? This next mission was me, Zane, and Amara going to the moon to save Lilith. Luckily, since Zane and Amara came along, they killed a lot of stuff this mission. And luckily, the few areas I had to clear on my own weren't actually that bad. Skin you? What are you on? Not much in the way. Why are you regenerative? God damn it. Okay. After rescuing Lilith, thank God she's still alive. Literally the same day that we kill Callus, she comes back to life and we have to fight her again. Except this time, we don't have a cheese spot and the arena is significantly smaller. Also, the fact that we're in space means that there's low gravity, which means when I get hit, I take an outrageous amount of knockback. Oh, and also the boss's attacks are fire and radiation, which are exceptionally strong against flesh, which I happen to be. So literally at all times, I am potentially one hit away from death. Oh, and also every quarter of a bar that we do to the boss's health, the arena gets significantly smaller, eventually leaving us on a tiny little insignificant speck with this boss that's trying to diddle us. This was genuinely the worst fight of the entire playthrough. Oh, but don't worry, they thought of everything, because they added grapple points to the side of the arena. So when you go down and get knocked off the map, you can look at the fucking grapple points as you fall into the fucking abyss because you can't grapple while you're fucking down. No, God, please, dude! What the fuck? No, God! Fuck! I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fix my fucking broken fingers. And in the off chance that I can actually use one of the grapples, one of them just doesn't fucking work. So God forbid I fall off in that direction, get knocked off the fucking map, which I'm probably going to. That one doesn't work. The grapple, it happened again. That grapple doesn't work. That grapple literally... No, please don't do this. Please. No. $6,000? You're not gonna give me $6,000 though. That's good damage. Oh, I got hit. Oh, oh my God, we killed her. Carly, I want my $6,000, goddammit. I want my goddamn $6,000. Now that I had a way into the capital, I started fighting my way up to the timekeeper. The lowest part of the capital wasn't actually bad in the slightest. Since most of the objectives didn't require me to kill enemies, I was able to run past most things. And the things I couldn't run past, I had friendlies scattered around everywhere to help me along the way. The timekeeper stuns my echo device, allowing him to take control of me. He then kills 3 people using a different weapon, essentially invalidating the run, but for all intents and purposes, I won't be counting that, since I essentially got Bill Cosby'd into doing it. Once I got into the upper part of the capital, control. That's where things really started to get dicey. There was a vile enemy that I had to kill completely by myself. I found that save quitting to cycle his elements until I didn't get fire was actually pretty helpful. Him being fire was just unnecessary difficulty, and after a lot of trial and error, I found out that I actually can break the vile enemy's orbs. I just have to spend a long time breaking their crystals normally, and then the instant the crystal breaks, I have to pop my rep kit, and then I have to use my boosted rep kit damage to shoot the orb and break it. This was surprisingly difficult to do reliably, but I discovered an absolute miracle. Apparently, vile enemies don't reset health when you die. This made this absolutely so much more manageable.
Oh! No way!
This area likes to spawn enemies in waves, so once I killed the first vile enemy, not only did it spawn badasses, it spawned another vile enemy. And funnily enough, one of the badasses was regenerative, so I had to save quit and re-kill the very first vile enemy again. The second vile enemy was much worse than the first one, since the first one only had a melee weapon, so he would run at me in a straight line. This second vile enemy had a gun, and he would occasionally spawn turrets, not to mention he was smaller, so the crystals were way harder to hit reliably.
Motherfucker, man. Fuck! Stop hiding your fucking leg!
After a lot of raging, I managed to kill the second one, only for a third vile enemy and more badasses to spawn. Fortunately though, the third vile enemy was a bulkhead, so he was pretty slow and easy to take down. The very last badass that spawned was actually regenerative, but at this point save quitting wasn't an option, because we had killed 3 vile enemies and a ton of badasses, and save quitting would have reset all of those enemies. So after attempting this for a while, we found out that if we hit our shots and get perfect bleed procs, we can actually kill our very first regenerative enemy of the entire playthrough. This felt like such an accomplishment, like we had came such a long way. Just like that, please. Dude, we killed our first regenerative enemy. The very last hurdle before the timekeeper were these tanks that had a lot of health. Plus, they didn't have a crit spot, meaning I couldn't proc bleed on them. So these guys took a lot of time. But after a lot of testing, I found a spot where they just wouldn't attack me. I'm kind of confused why that happened, but it made taking out the first one fairly easy, just time consuming. The second tank, however, spawned with the irritable modifier, meaning it constantly spawned bombs that it would shoot at me. So I could still use that same spot I used for the first one, but I had to constantly dodge and jump as to not get hit. After killing the tanks, I inserted the 3 command bolts, and the giant door of compensation opened, revealing an elevator directly to the timekeeper. We made it. The final fight to end this goddamn awful playthrough. This boss had 3 bars of health, the same as Idolator Soul, which is still possibly the most intense gameplay I've ever experienced. My asshole was so clenched it could cut diamonds, but somehow at the same time I was shitting my pants. I did not know this boss's attacks, and I was having to learn on the fly. So that tracks me. That's annoying as fuck.
That hit. Oh, what the fuck?
He attacked so fast, I literally couldn't stand still. However, thank God the second wind enemies were some of the weakest I had seen all playthrough.
Oh god, oh fuck. How do I dodge that? How the fuck do I dodge that? No, get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Stop it, please! What the fuck? How do I dodge that? Like, what do I do against this? What the fuck?
What is that? What is that?
What? That's a new attack. Oh! No, 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 no! Fuck!
I don't want him to get close to me.
Oh, no, I jumped over it. Fuck.
Once I got him down to his second bar, his attacks got noticeably harder, and the third phase was even worse.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Whoa, 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 chill. Oh, they rotate now? Fuck. Oh, no.
Bitch.
No. I don't know how to dodge those. Oh, where's the holes? Where's the holes? I'm sorry, me when I can't find the holes. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, holy shit. I did it. Somehow, on my first attempt, I killed the timekeeper. It was not easy by any means, and there were several close calls, but thank God it's finally over. What the fuck?
He has 3 bars again?
And this time he's higher level, which makes him noticeably stronger.
Oh, I don't want to die, though. No. No, no, no!
Well, at least the first phase is done, and I don't have to redo that, right? Motherfucker. Since I have to redo the entire first phase every single time I die, I feel like it's only fitting to start looking for cheese spots, to at the very least help make the first phase easier, because my sphincter would prolapse from the amount of asshole clenching I was doing. I did it legitimately once. I feel like having to redo it constantly every single time I die, it's a little bit excessive. Oh no.
Oh, please, please, please.
So that...
I mean, goddamn.
Earlier in the playthrough, during the Callus Part 2 fight, I found that if you spam 2 grapples that are close enough together and time your jumps right, you can actually gain a lot of height. So we tried this in the Timekeeper's arena, and evidently it works. And you can actually gain enough height to land on these little spots on the vault arch. With this spot, I was able to cheese the entire first bar, but oddly enough, as soon as the second phase starts, he gets new attacks, and one of the attacks can actually hit me, so he starts to spam that attack non-stop. This spot was still very intense, and I was having to really focus on all the second wind enemies to make sure I kept them at all at one shot. And I was spending literally more time shooting the enemies to get second winds than I was actually damaging the Timekeeper. But it was still hands down easier than doing the Timekeeper fight legitimately. But the second phase was substantially harder than the first phase, so I yet again was looking for cheese spots to try and do this more easily. After a lot of trial and error and several days of attempts, it turns out that when the first phase ends, it plays a cutscene, and when that cutscene ends, it puts you back in the exact same position that you were in before the cutscene. And I found out that if I turn around and very quickly jump, I can then land on top of the vault arch again in the second phase. And evidently, when I'm in this spot, I can cheese the first bar of the second phase. Unfortunately though, as soon as the second bar starts, he gets 2 new attacks, and both of which can hit us. So sitting up on top of the vault arch was no longer an option. At first, I thought this was as good as it was going to get. Cheesing the first phase fairly easily, and then cheesing the first bar of the second phase. It was still so rough though that I eventually caved and made a copy of the character and put some actual guns on so that we could test the fight a little bit easier. Call me a pussy all you want, but dude, I'm literally a fucking caveman throwing pebbles at a fucking armored dragon. What do you want from me? As soon as we get the second phase down to the second bar of health, he does this platform grapple attack, and the highest of these platforms is actually a little bit higher than the vault arch that I've been standing on. And I noticed that after looking around for a while, there's these bits of debris outside of the arena that actually look like they may be solid. We were able to land on this piece of debris. But while standing here, there were still 3 attacks that could hit us. But I wasn't done yet. I noticed there was yet another piece of debris even further out from the boss that looked slightly in range to jump to. So fuck it, why shouldn't I try? And evidently, we made it. This spot was so far away that the boss's health bar doesn't even show up. Kind of like earlier in the playthrough when we cheesed Driller Hole. Luckily though, the boss is still functional and we can still damage them. And the best part is, none of the attacks can even hit us anymore. Well, there is one attack that can very occasionally hit us, that the odds of us dying to it are near 0. This is the fucking jackpot. The holy grail of cheese spots. Now, all I had to do was swap back to my main save and actually attempt this for real one last time. This spot was so far away that I was barely ever hitting crits, which meant I was barely ever proccing bleed, which meant my damage was very low, and this took a very long time. But thankfully, since we have our ammo regen enhancement, all I had to do was sit here and wait for my ammo to regen, and it was completely doable. Oh, that's a good bleed, please. Yes. 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 We fucking did it. Holy fuck. Do you think his like dragon form like that, do you think that's his fursona? God fucking damn it, you have to be fucking kidding me. 3 more motherfucking bars of goddamn health. I'm gonna commit mass genocide. Dude, stop fucking teleporting! In his second phase, he starts doing this fire tornado attack, and I have to get close enough to him to grapple him in order to stop him from doing it. Luckily though, the grapple doesn't do any damage. This guy's gay and he's insecure about it. Am I projecting? What does he have? What is that? What the fuck is that? What? I'm stuck. What the fuck? Do I have to shoot that? What the fuck is happening? On his last bar, he shoots out this little diamond that flies at me, and when it gets close enough to me, it literally locks me in place, and I can't do anything about it since I don't have enough damage to break the diamond. Not even with my boosted rep kit shot. And to add insult to injury, he literally teleports right next to me and does his fire attack right inside of me, while I'm literally stuck in place and can't do anything about it. RJ is essentially step bro coming to fuck me while I'm stuck. I literally cannot do anything about that diamond, and I end up dying after that incredible first attempt. But thank God there's a fucking checkpoint after you kill the timekeeper. No, no, stop, please fucking fuck me, man. Stop aiming onto the wrong. Oh my God, fuck me, stop. Fuck. The second attempt actually went a lot smoother than the first one even. God damn it, bro. This is the problem. They fucking move so much and there's so many of them. Oh my God. Dude, you're body blocking. Stop it. Fuck. Oh my God. That was a good bleed.
No, but he goes immune when he teleports. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that was a really good bleed. Holy shit.
You're close. You're close.
Where'd he go? Where the fuck did he go?
Did RJ just kill him? Did RJ just kill him? There he is. Holy f.
Aim, aim, aim. No, no, stop. Please fucking stop.
Oh my god.
Again, literally fucking again. I can't break it. I don't do enough fucking damage to it.
We managed to kill this goddamn cuck of a person in just 2 tries. I call that an absolute win. I will be touching myself tonight.
Oh, 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 oh.
I came. Underwear is full. We're done. It's fucking over. Lilith, you are a sight for goddamn sore eyes. I love you. Okay, apparently not, because I have to do these stupid fucking quests afterwards for some reason.
Oh, that was a huge bleed proc.
But don't worry, I get to talk to Lilith again. Oh boy, now we're fucking done. Jesus Christ. Why did I even think this would be a good idea? But for real though, shout out to all my supporters for allowing me to do this more often. My content is not very YouTube friendly, so most of the money I make actually comes from your guys' subs and donations. I may yell at you guys and say heinous things a lot, but I do genuinely very much appreciate it. You guys keep me motivated to keep doing things like this, even though YouTube does nothing but drag me down.
Oh my god, it was meant to be. Literally first fucking flip we got it. Holy shit, bro.
But until next time, f*** you guys.